For March the 20th, 2026, we talk about Pokemon Pokopia, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, Resident Evil Requiem, and much more. Welcome to Level 577. My name is Kaye Ross.
I'm Dennis Furia.
I'm Jala Prentice.
And I'm Ben Merkel.
And you're listening to The Level, a podcast for people who love video games. Welcome back, Jala.
Hey, what's up? I'm here.
You're here. It's good to it's good to have you. It's been a long time.
A prolonged amount of time.
Yeah.
This week, this is the place where Jala John is.
That's right.
Yes.
This is the place.
Temporally, how you doing?
Oh, very tired, but
Yeah.
but that's okay. That's okay. I think the last time I was on, I had mentioned that the chronological exploration of Arnold Schwarzenegger's movies, that podcast that I do with Dave, just launched in January.
That's been in the hopper for a little bit. I remember you talking about that a while ago.
It was on the to-do list for a long time, and we were just waiting for the coffee patron monies to get to the point where we could go afford to buy every single Arnold Schwarzenegger movie to watch them all. Some of those are not easy to locate. So anyway, so that happened, and we've started that. So we have currently 2 episodes out. The third one will be coming out probably the week after this episode drops.
Have you done Stay Hungry yet?
Stay Hungry was the last one that we did,
Okay.
and I had never seen that movie before. So
It's
the first
super
one
goofy.
yeah. Well, I mean, he saw Hercules in New York. You want to talk about goofy? That's some real freaking cheese. But boy, there's a character named Pretzi who is a man who sells pretzels. And that's his whole shtick. That's who he is. He's a New York guy with like a Brooklyn accent or whatever who sells pretzels, and he ends up becoming buddies. He looks like a little nerd guy, and he becomes buddies with Hercules when Hercules comes to Earth to hang out in New York City because he wants to vacation in the mortal realm. And he turns into a wrestler, and there is a chase with a chariot and a Mustang or something, and I don't even know what else in Central Park in the middle of this movie. And there is some wild shit in that, like a hot dog vendor, like the guy who had the chariot is there because there's like a circus in town, and he goes on his break to go get a hot dog from a street vendor. And while he's doing that, Hercules is in the middle of a car chase with the mob. Don't ask. And then he steals the chariot to go after the mob people. And so then the guy who owns the chariot and the hot dog vendor both run after him and on foot and catch up to them in Central Park. It's a very Hercules wrestles a bear, which is very clearly a man in a suit. And it is some of the best cinema, I swear. So, I mean, it's so bad it wraps around to being actually kind of good. We both ended up liking that movie quite a bit. Uh-huh. And Stay Hungry is another one where it's got Jeff Bridges and Sally Field in it, and it's a really good film, and I'm curious about the book it's based on. But
I didn't realize it was on a book. I just know it as the movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger we're meant to believe that he is playing bluegrass fiddle out in the woods.
Oh yeah, he does. He plays a bluegrass fiddle out in the woods, and Jeff Bridges gets drunk on moonshine and starts a jig, and in the middle of the jamboree. And not only that, there is a drunken fight in a gym with all of the mayhem that you could imagine with gym equipment, as well as a sexy time scene with some ladies in there also in the gym. So anything you ever wanted to have happen in a gym happens in this movie, I think. Anyway, it's
and some things you'd prefer didn't.
Right, exactly. So
I just hope they wipe things down.
Exactly.
So
where's that barbell bin?
Are you going through chronologically of all of Arnold's movies? Wow.
Yes. The next one, the one that will be coming out next week will be Pumping Iron. So that's it's supposedly like, oh, this is about, bodybuilding. It's supposed to be kind of like a biopic following the people, but it's also very exaggerated, but it's also kind of how the stuff is. And that was also a screenplay written by Charles Gaines, the guy who wrote the book and the screenplay for Stay Hungry. So he was like promoting bodybuilding for a while, trying to get that out there in the world. So,
yeah.
This prompted me to look up his filmography, and I am surprised to see that his latest entry is Kung Fury 2. So hopefully that'll be out by the time you get there in the filmography.
Right. Well, we're only doing one a month, so it'll be a while yet before we get there. But the one after Pumping Iron is Conan the Barbarian. So about that time is when we'll really get some listener responses and people interested in talking about it. Right now, it's not like so many people listening because, nobody knows about these movies. But they're worth hearing about because they're weird. But anyhow, so there's that. And then also Dave and I are going to be showing up on an episode of Nostalgia Arcanum for April, talking about Pan's Labyrinth, the GDT movie. So it's the 20th anniversary this year of that coming out.
Oh, God, that feels like it was just yesterday it came out.
Make you feel old time. Oh, yeah, and I don't know if I ever mentioned this. I don't remember if it was done by the time I was on here last. The sound design on my game is done. So,
sweet.
It's all uploaded on itch. So, jalachan.itch.io. You can find my game there. You can play the entire story. Now it has music and a whole lot of sound effects. I did a lot of sound effect work on that. So that's all done.
Searching through sound effect libraries.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so that's there for folks if they are interested. I'm currently working on the game UI design, at least for the basic screen, so I know how big to make all the art. That's the next part that I have to work on. So, yeah. That's all the stuff going on with me, basically. How about y'all?
That's a lot, even for the amount of time it's been.
I do.
Yeah. Let's see.
You do, therefore you be.
Indeed.
Ben, how about you?
I think the main thing I did this past week is we went to a Oscars party on Sunday and got to watch that. So I was excited for that. I made a cocktail for people based off a bunch of movies that I wanted to win Best Picture. So it was a French 75 cocktail, because that's the name of the group in One Battle After Another. And there were some like ingredient Easter eggs there. And I was, to toot my own horn, I was happy we did a predictions page and I ended up getting 20 out of 24. So I was super stoked about that. So most of the people that I wanted to win won. So I was happy with that. Yeah.
What cocktail did you make for K-pop Demon Hunters?
That was not included. Since we were sticking to Best Picture nominees. So I substituted honey as a begonia reference. It used gin for Train Dreams, and I brought orange Cheeto balls for Marty Supreme, if you get that. So anyway, fun movie references for me.
That sounds like a fun project to come up with all of those. For those individual ones, I was gonna make a joke about what you could garnish the begonia one with, but that would be a spoiler for the movie. Oh man,
happy Paul Thomas Anderson finally got an Academy Award. So that was cool to see. But yeah,
on a good movie too. Like it wasn't like a latter day we're gonna throw you a bone kind of thing.
I have to say, too, that horror did very well. If you consider Frankenstein horror, which I wouldn't, it's a gothic drama with some horror elements, I guess. But, because it's a creature feature, they call it a horror movie. But between Sinners and Frankenstein and Weapons, the genre did better than it's ever done before.
Yeah.
Man, I always just scratching at the door. Yeah.
I can't think why horror and monsters are in vogue right now. What kind of like existential dread might people be processing through these movies?
What could explain it? Yeah. Nice. Dennis, how about you?
Yeah, nothing too crazy. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We are recording on that and talked about it in the green room. Haha. Nothing crazy this week except the weather. So I'll tell a weather story. We had a day at 75 degrees, so literally swimming weather. And then it dropped down to 32 and snowed overnight. And like crazy windstorms. And somehow it like, you know, we got a flag in our front yard when we got our house here. And so it came with the house and it's always been up. And somehow the windstorm, like nearest I can tell, ripped the flag, got that rip wrapped around the flagpole in a way that turned the flag into a sail, and then snapped the flagpole at the base and pulled it to the ground.
Okay.
This also happened to be, not as big as SB1 in Ohio, but SB 87, which allows the Ohio government to treat protesting Iran as a anti-Semitic hate crime. Protesting the war in Iran, I should say.
I was going to say that.
So that passed the day before, and then I got up the next morning, and our American flag had been drugged to the ground in an act of God or something.
Are you fucking kidding me? They did that?
Yeah, it's stupid. It is. Yeah,
that's really.
It's unfortunate, but the symbolism was not lost on me, and I may have left it there for a day or two longer than I otherwise would have.
Yeah,
this feels right, but it's all cleaned up now and everything. But I don't. The dynamics of wind that it had to do to like first rip and then wrap, because I had to like push the main portion of the flag back through the hole made by the rip to get it untangled. So they just crazy physics of whatever happened to pull down a flagpole. It's just wild. So that is the mood of me right now.
Right. I mean, lucky that it was only the flagpole that got. I mean, like,
yes, and lucky it was pulled away from the house.
Yes, also that, and not like, and through like 4 bedrooms.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No, the wind was. I mean, I was hearing stories about like trucks being blown off the road. Like it was really rough. Yeah. I don't have too much. My apartment's finally in like a spot. Like last night I was able to, like, my living room was in a spot where I could like sit down and watch a movie, and it was really nice just to be in my space as it was intended, which is good.
I don't know why, but in my mind you were going to finish that sentence. I could finally get my DDR set up down.
So I was doing like a weird little hand movement with that.
From. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and also like I've got an e-drum thing set up behind me here too. So
hell yeah. Okay.
Never got into DDR. So
your loss, honestly.
Yeah. It's just been a lot of like trying to get stuff settled, but like I'm to the point where I can start like hanging things up, and then I might actually be able to go and, go out and do some stuff without feeling like I need to, be tied to the house.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it starting to feel like home now?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
And that process was helped along when the cats started acting like themselves again.
I was going to ask, have they decided that this too is their domain? Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
No, they're doing stereotypical, not just stereotypical cat stuff, but like, oh, Greta's begging for treats and Dottie's being real cagey. Like they were acting not like themselves for a long time, and now it's like nothing happened. So
sweet.
That's what they say. You want the kids to be messy at home because that means they feel safe.
Yes. So that's all that I've got. Nothing more exciting than that, but hopefully that'll change soon. Yeah. Well, I think we should do the regular kind of show.
All right.
I want to talk about what? Okay, all right. Well, it's decided. Bye.
Mood.
I want to talk about video games, and to do that, we need to talk about the regular kind of show, the grind, the multiplayer, and the end boss. And why don't we get started with
the grind?
The Grind, where we talk about the games we have been playing over the last period of time or so. Jala, I will let you lead.
Okay, so I have two because, been busy. But I did, before Requiem came out, I started a replay of Resident Evil 4 Remake. And so I got to, where am I in the island? I'm somewhere, well, not the island, but, like the mountain, whatever, the last segment, the last
castle.
Area, past the castle, the part past the castle.
Oh, that's the island. Yeah, the military facility.
The island still?
Yes.
It's an island still? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, anyway, I'm there somewhere. I got past a good chunk of stuff. I handled Salazar. That's done. So I don't know where I'm at now. Anyway, somewhere at the end of the game. And I stopped that cold as soon as Requiem came out. I had pre-ordered it, but I barely got any time to play it for like the first several days because I was just too busy. But I did play a little bit here and there. And I finished it last night. So I was trying to finish it before I got on the show so I could talk about it. Insofar as playing RE4 Remake, still fun. No notes. I mean, we've talked about that. I was on Dave Jackson's Tales from the Backlog to talk about it in detail.
About the remake or about
the remake?
Okay.
About the remake.
I was like,
so,
had you played that? Yeah, I was like, is this the first time you're playing it? But no.
Oh, no. I played it and I talked about it on Dave Jackson's show back, like the year it came out, it was a few months after the game release that episode came out. So it's that year, whenever that was. I don't know. Time means nothing. But so I have, if you want to hear all my thoughts on that, go listen to that. I don't need to sit and burn cast on that. But Requiem. So I will say some things about it that are not spoilery and kind of, so it's goofy in all the ways that Resident Evil games are goofy that people like, in my opinion. Like you do crafting with blood.
God,
to make bullets and stuff. I mean, like, okay, cool.
Hemokinesis.
You use blood to turn knives into scrap, which can then be turned into bullets.
Yes. Yes, you can do all kinds of magical things with blood. There's a lot of different fun things that you can do in Grace's sections, but also Leon has the ridiculous over-the-top stuff. Like, I don't want to cite it because I don't want to, ruin anything for anybody, but it is silly stuff.
How about that sequence at the end of like the first chunk of the, like when you end the first setting of the game with the orb? How amazing is that? I was clapping when I got to that.
You're just all right, man. I mean, like, so let me just say it this way. I had been debating getting like, I want to get like a Superman logo somewhere because Superman's one of my properties that I like. I was also considering getting like a Resident Evil tattoo, like the umbrella logo, and maybe making it like an armband and then doing some other stuff as a like a line around it. Or, around that center logo. But like playing this game, I think that might be a thing that's on the menu eventually is doing that.
Might bump that up a couple of slots.
Right. Like I'll say more about it in a minute, but basically I liked Requiem better than I liked 7 or 8. And I enjoyed 8 a fair amount. There's things I had, that I'm like, doesn't feel quite where I want it to be, but it is a fun game. And then 7, I just kind of like, I played parts of it and I just never finished the rest of it. So, and I just have very little, like eventually I'll go back and play it. I feel I'll finish it eventually, I think. But, like it just wasn't striking on all my cylinders. And it might be like at the time that I was playing it was just not the time for me to play it. Cause I'm very much like a mood gamer. I have to have something that matches wherever I'm at.
Yeah. It's also a throwback to I do not associate you with liking the early Resident Evil games.
It's not as much as much my thing as like some of the
4 or 5, 6 especially.
Well, 6 mostly because it's co-op and like,
Right.
but it's better co-op than 5, in my opinion. Like it has more going on with it than 5 does, because 5 eventually turns into a corridor shooter, but like 6 has different stuff. But like I ended up, when I said on the podcast, I'll Sherpa people through, I had like a line of people and I've never had the game uninstalled since. So like part of my association is because I set myself up for it. And I've been playing that game ever since for that reason. I mean, hell, I did another replay last year with a new person. So on stream, Rookie. But anyway, like it's not honestly actually like my favorite game in the series. It's just the game that I play a whole hell of a lot of with people.
Stockholm syndrome at this point.
Well, it's because it's a co-op game, though. I like playing co-op with folks. But anyway,
I did not mean to typecast you.
No. But like this one. I like this one because it kind of it still feels like, even after I finish the entire game, it still feels like there's a lot of greatest hits of the entire series kind of referencing a bunch of different set pieces and, things that you will recognize as a Resident Evil player if you're an old time, old hat at it. But if you're new, the fun thing about it is that while you're playing the game, depending upon what things you like best, it will recommend itself to you, like which Resident Evil entries you will probably like based on what you like in Requiem, because there's a little sprinkling of a lot of different things from the different installments of the game. So there's that. It combines the first person survival horror stuff, although it's like survival horror really only for the first part of Grace's stuff. And then like once you get a certain amount of resources, I didn't really feel a resource crunch. I was playing on normal, modern controls, if anybody cares. So like bear that in mind when you hear my opinions on things. I wasn't playing insane. I wasn't playing casual. I was playing normal, modern.
It makes sense to do that for your first playthrough. Like all the other stuff feels like second playthrough. Right. So, but anyway, after a certain point in Grace's parts, which is the more quote unquote survival horror, because you've got the more limited inventory and like you don't get the OP weapons and stuff that you do with Leon. You definitely don't have the parry everything hatchet. So, like you're a little bit more disadvantaged, for that. But anyway, like I eventually got to the point where I killed everything. I went back through and killed everything. So like I murdered every single zombie that was in the place. But that's just, remember when I was playing Dishonored and I decided I was going to kill everybody in the level and then drag their body into one giant pile? Yes, it's like that. so anyway, but then the Leon... You want to make things easy for the rats.
Right, exactly. So, but anyway, in Leon sections, of course, you can literally parry anything. And I mean anything. Up to the last boss, you can parry anything with that hatchet. So the memes have been off the hook for that. Also, there's like a vehicle chase scene in the game, and the memes for that and the mods for that have been unreal, very silly. But anyway, like you also have, of course, all the stuff that you get with Leon in Resident Evil 6 or in mostly in 6, I want to say, where you've got the super OP feeling of just like mowing down enemies, super easy. I would say it's even more, it feels kind of like, I think it was Sniper Elite 4, where there's just like a level at the later part of the game where they just give you a whole big armament of like rocket launchers and all kinds of shit, and you just blow up a whole, retinue of Nazis. And it's like that, where it's like you get to the point where you don't have really any concerns about ammo. You just switch to a different gun that's also overpowered and then just kill everything. So it's like It's gratuitous, it's silly, it's fun, it's meant to be a contrast to Grace's more conservative playthrough, although again, like, I don't feel like it's crippling. Like, it's not like you have to run and then those zombies will literally always be there. You can go back and kill them later, kind of thing. But I will say that although it's fun to play Leon, anybody who plays like character action games probably isn't going to be into it because they'll probably be more into crunchier controls than this. So like they're goofy fun, kind of like 6 or maybe 8 because of the theme park elements of 8. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so those are some things I think about that. And also it felt a little bit slow or prolonged mid to late game. Like there's some parts. Kaye, the part that you're at right now feels a little long in the tooth. And
I did get there, and it was like, oh, you need to go get 3 of these things. Which makes a little bit of sense for the Grace kind of gameplay. With Leon, it's going to be like it didn't inspire confidence, and the environment, once the shock of where you are wears off, is not the most like visually impressive thing.
No. Well, I will say that there are some fun parts ahead for you.
Because it's a good game. Yeah.
Some of which feel kind of like Dishonored. I don't want to say more than that because I don't want to specifically call out the level because I don't want to spoil anything. But there's some parts that feel Dishonored-ish in the part that you're coming up on now. But I will say, even though it felt a little bit long in that part, and then a smidge long, but not nearly so long in the last section of the game, like it dipped back up again at the end of the game and was really fun at the end of the game again. So, it's just basically think about like pacing wise on the game about in Resident Evil when you hit the island and then you're like, the island keeps going and you're like, when is the island over with? It's kind of like that feeling for a little bit, but then it kind of pulls itself back up from there.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
how long was the playtime?
My playtime was 13 hours and some change, 13 and a half hours probably. According to the thing, Steam says I played it for 20, but bear in mind that, number one, I was sitting in all the menus looking at all the bonus stuff a lot. Number two, when I was playing it on my home PC, I had to fiddle with the settings because like the ray tracing and some other stuff was like, like my computer can handle the highest settings, but it doesn't like the ray tracing. And there was something else. I think there was a problem with the sound on my speakers. Like not all my speakers were firing. So I was like in the settings and restarting crap a lot when I first started trying to get that ironed out. But like, again, like it plays on the highest. It just doesn't like ray tracing and something else. But I had to go through all the settings and turn things down and change stuff around to figure out what was making my computer scream. Because it was overheating like a motherfucker. And I'm like, well, this is not optimized for this is not optimized for my device, even though my device is new enough to be able to play this. And like, it's got good enough parts that it should have no problem. And it was on the highest settings on graphics stuff. It's just certain things were just not.
Yeah, and usually
the meta horror game.
It puts a screaming thing in your room.
Yeah.
And usually the RE engine is so scalable. Like, I associate it with like really good performance. So,
right. Yeah. Well, I think it was really like the ray. Well, as soon as I turned off the ray tracing, I was able to turn everything back, and I think I changed the frame rate maybe, but I don't know if I needed to do that. I just changed it just matter of course.
Did it scream like when we tried to play Ember on Duckstream?
Yes.
Oh. Oof.
And it was screaming like that while I was playing Grace in the first part of the game. And the thing is luckily I don't scare, so I'm sitting there like, okay.
That's just annoying. Yeah.
It's just annoying, whatever. And then, like Dave is freaking out at all those, because he gets jump scary and I don't really do that. So the only time, I eventually ended up playing it on my deck too. And I will say it plays on the Steam Deck on low settings, which still look good. Not the lowest settings, but on low. If you turn it down to low and it's fine. And it runs just peachy keen on that. And the problem with that, though, is that there's so much directional sound going on that when you're playing on deck, unless you have headphones, you won't get all of the directional sound input. And I was playing it on speaker so Dave could hear it too. And so, like it would flatten out the audio to where I didn't know where stuff was sometimes. So, you know.
As Grace, there's a lot of like waiting behind a door for something to walk past, and you want to know when they walk past. Yeah,
right. Well, I had mostly switched to like I think I had the tail end of one of Grace's longer sections, and then after that, it was almost all Leon, and that was doable. You know, infinitely doable with not the directional audio because you know he's just OP. But anyway, it was fun. I enjoyed it. And yeah, you should play it if it's interesting to you. They have DLC coming out in May.
Yeah, like actual story DLC. I'm very curious.
Yeah?
They have not had a good record. They have not had a good record with story DLC.
You know, I still haven't played the story DLC from Resident Evil 5 because nobody will go back and play that game with me after we finish to go play the DLC. So,
that's fun.
I think it's partner stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. You get Jill and Chris in one of them, I think.
See, well, I need somebody to play it through because I don't want to play with this abysmal
I'll play
AI.
it with you. I couldn't remember. Yeah, I couldn't remember. We can do it on a stream if the timing works out for you.
Cool.
Yeah, because I don't know if we're ever going to get Revelations 2 to work.
I know. We were looking at that, and it's like, man, I was waiting to play that game, and then you know, like we never could figure it out. It's like, oh man,
I just don't think it's
local. I think it's only local co-op or something. It's something nonsense.
Local limited. It's something. Yeah, we looked at doing Steam like remote play stuff. I just don't think it's made to do the kind of thing we wanted it to do.
No,
but we can do the.
RE5.
The RE5 DLC, because some of that, like the Jill and Chris one's good. That explains like the backstory of what happened.
I've never played it because like by the time we get to the end of the game, nobody wants to boot it back up again to play the DLC.
Nobody wants more. Yeah,
nobody wants more. They're done. You know? So. They're like, well, punch a boulder, destroyed him in a volcano. I think I'm done now. I got no more. So.
What could possibly top that?
Well, ask all of the other installments of Resident Evil that came after that.
Yeah, I like that's one of my games that I've been playing, but I've not finished it yet. So
Well, how are you liking it so far?
I'm enjoying it. It's good. There's one thing that was like a real big, again, speaking in vague terms because the game is so new. There was a moment that was like, holy shit, I can't believe and then it was like, wait a minute, that might be too dumb for me. In the right, and then I'm still trying to decide. I think I need to see how it plays out. But if it is like what's on the face of it, it's a little silly.
A little silly for this series. That's like the understatement of the century.
I'm adjusting in Resident Evil terms. Okay. So it might be a little silly, but we'll see we'll see where it goes. There's no guarantee that it's actually what I think it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, my playtime on that. Also, bear in mind, I backtrack a lot. I run around a lot and I keep looking at everything constantly. I'm always exploring. So like I explore literally every nook and cranny in the game. Multiple times probably. So, you know, bear in mind, like my playtime of 13 hours and some change, like everybody else on average is like 10-ish hours, but for me it's 13. So
I'm at 9 hours and that's all been streaming. So like that's with a lot of getting distracted and fucking around and talking too. So yeah. There's another game that I've played a little bit of. It's not the one you're thinking of, Dennis. We'll get to that.
Damn
it. But I picked up and have played a little bit of Pokemon Pokopia.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It annoys me that people describe this as Animal Crossing like when it is very clearly Dragon Quest Builders.
It is Dragon Quest Builders.
Yes, it is exactly Dragon Quest Builders. Not with as much combat that I've seen so far, but it's like, I mean, if you know video games, don't describe it as a thing that it's not. Like Dragon Quest Builders.
If Dragon Quest Builders didn't exist, would Animal Crossing be an apt comparison?
Only insofar as you are trying to make other things happy. But no, Minecraft building would be the more apt comparison.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So like, I didn't know until I fired it up and like started playing it. I was, because like everything that I had seen was kind of like from a top down angle. So I was like, oh, this is going to be like Pokemon Stardew. I fired it up, and when I saw that everything was made of the cubes, and I saw that like what the camera angle was, and when it started being like, oh, to make this thing appear, you have to build a habitat for it. I was like, oh, this is just Dragon Quest Builders, a game that I really enjoy.
I don't remember. So one of our the community folks, Threnza, he loves Dragon Quest Builders and also is playing Pokopia with his daughter, and they're having a blast. And
I'm sure. Yeah.
I think that want to say he said that it's like the same team or some similar people that worked on Dragon Quest that's worked on Pokopia.
Yes. Yeah. This is I want to say Tecmo Koei, like working with. I think it's the same people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I remembered something. Shit, that was told to me months ago. Wow.
Well done.
Yeah. But no, I'm enjoying it. I'm not very far into it, but like, for people who aren't aware of like Dragon Quest Builders, it was like all of civilization has been wiped away because it takes place after the bad ending of Dragon Quest 1. And you've got to go and rebuild. You're a hero, you wake up, and like in order to restore the world, like you have to satisfy people's needs in every chapter. So it's like, all right, well, we need a blacksmith to show up. So we need to build a blacksmith shop. And that is an enclosed area that has, these kind of light fixtures, at least this, a forge and things. And it's like, okay, here are the criteria of something that you need to build in your like little village that you're putting together. Go ahead.
This is Field of Dreams logic.
Kind of, yes. But it's like, or, a blacksmith will show up and say, in order to make weapons for you, I need something that is this, but it gives you the criteria, but like you build it in this kind of like voxel square stacking kind of way, not dissimilar to, to Minecraft, in order to satisfy that and then, move forward, and it scores you based on the thing that you built. And you've got to go and do exploration into caves and stuff, and, fight Dragon Quest enemies in order to get the materials that you need to craft everything. That's kind of the basic loop of it. I've not run into a lot of combat so far with Pokemon Pokopia, but like it's like even down to the premise, like you are a Ditto who wakes up in a world not just devoid of humanity, but mostly devoid of Pokemon as well. There's just one guy, like a professor, who's like an evolution of Tangela, which I do not know the name of that Pokemon because I stopped after Gen 2, really. But it's like, we might be able to make more Pokemon appear if we rebuilt their habitats. So like the first thing you do is you find a Squirtle that is dying of thirst, and you get it some water. And then with that, you can water some grass in order to bring tall grass back, and you get a Bulbasaur, and then you can get build a habitat for a Charizard. And then you have kind of your basic abilities to start going around and like finding remnants of, human settlements and stuff, and trying to coax out more Pokemon so that you can learn their skills in order to be able to do more stuff. So like, you find a bench, and it's like, oh, this could be a Hitmonchan habitat, as if you were able to find a punching bag, and you just explore the town a little bit, and you find a punching bag and you put it there, and Hitmonchan shows up, and you do a couple of little quests for him, trying to build the stuff around him, and he teaches you the ability to like break rocks, like a little punch, and you're a Ditto doing like 4 imitations of these things, so it's super cute. Like he grows boxing gloves and just pummels shit with it. Yeah. So like it's a super satisfying loop, because if you're coming to this knowing Dragon Quest builders, then you kind of know what it is, and you know that you like this. But like, I don't know. It's been long enough since I have played or really engaged with anything Pokemon. I think I made like an attempt to get into Pokemon Sun and Moon. Jala, correct me. Was that the one that was on the Hawaii?
I have no idea. So my Pokemon journey, red, blue, and yellow, or whatever the original colors were. Skip forward until Pokemon Puzzle Challenge and Pokemon Stadium. Skip forward again until Sword and Shield, which I played like a maniac. And then I played Scarlet and Violet and never finished them because that one was deeply uninspired by comparison, in my opinion. It did not catch my fancy. I got pretty far into it, but I never finished it. And that's it. That's my Pokemon.
Yeah, I couldn't. I knew that you got really into one of them, but I could not remember which one.
Yeah.
Is it a general rule that the mainline entries are kind of, I don't know, incremental at best and not really worth playing if you are not a hardcore Pokemon fan?
That is what I found to be the case. Like I sat out Generation 3, which a lot, which Pokemon game is your favorite is going to be very dependent on your age, which I think says a lot.
Yes.
Like kind of like when you got into it. But like I picked up with Pearl, which was the first of the DS games, and I was like, this is way too similar. Like they have not changed it enough. And every time I've kind of like done a little peek back into it, it just has not changed. So I don't want to say like they're not worth playing, but I wouldn't say play every single one of them. I think that's a way to get burnt out.
Well, it's kind of funny because Sword and Shield felt very different to me in a lot of ways. And then Scarlet Violet felt pretty appreciably different from Sword Shield, to the point that I loved Sword and Shield. I did not care for Scarlet Violet. But I don't know, your mileage might vary. But of course, remember when I was playing Sword Shield, as much as I played the shit out of that game, I was like, their systems bloat like a motherfucker. There's way too many systems that you do not need because this game is not that hard. I wish it had a hard mode, actually,
Yeah,
so.
Well, it's just people make their own hard mode by playing it competitively against other people,
or they go and do the Dynamax dungeons, which is what I did over and over again, and that's where I got all these hours doing co-op Dynamax dungeons at the end of the game.
Yeah,
or forcing yourself to get
a
shiny Sinistee or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. The mainline entries always felt like someone had begrudgingly updated it only as far as they were forced to at gunpoint, and no more.
You're gonna make so many Pokemon people angry.
They're gonna be pretty upset. There are also.
I'm not saying you can't like it. I just, I didn't.
I don't know. I didn't dip my toe into literally any of them. In that weird interim, I played very weird entry. Like I played the first one and then weird spin-off stuff, and then finally got back into it with Sword Shield. So I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the point I was wondering towards, is that like it's these spin-off entries that really have the cool new stuff for me.
I mean, I am inclined to believe that because I liked Pokemon Snap a lot, and that was the first really big spin-off of it. So like I don't know if that would stand up because I just don't have enough Pokemon spin-offs top of mind.
Did Snap or Stadium come first?
Snap came first, and then it was Stadium.
Okay.
I believe that. Yeah.
By the way, Kaye, I dropped in the backstage chat a funny little comic for you about Squirtle.
Let me see here. hey, Ditto, could you make me a habitat? Sure thing, Squirtle. Just vomiting water.
But then Squirtle's face, oh my God, it's so good.
Squirtle looks very concerned.
Very upset and distraught, like, oh, I don't want that anymore, actually.
God. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So like I got interested in this because I wanted a, for lack of a better word, a cozy game, and I heard people talking it up, really well. And it was like, everything is in upheaval for me. I want to play something kind of comforting. I didn't realize how comforting it was going to be because it's literally Dragon Quest Builders. But what if it used Pokemon instead? Which is makes sense because like Dragon Quest, you have like the the gallery, like the libretto of the common kind of monsters that you see, like you kind of know what to expect with the creature design and stuff and that's what Pokemon has working in favor for it. Yeah.
I was curious, like what else is going on in the game besides like habitat building to attract new Pokemon? Is there something else you're doing with the skills that you achieve, or?
There's definitely going to be more exploration because like there are just places that I just can't get to yet. There is a story too. Like you are trying to find out where all of the people went. And my understanding from people talking about it is that this game is a fucking bummer in that regard.
Like you start finding corpses at some point.
Yeah.
You find out Leon showed up in Pokopia. They were all zombies. So,
yeah.
Look. However many years ago it was Isabel and Doom Guy, and now it's going to be the Ditto and Leon.
Yep. Just busting heads. Yeah. Just parrying each other.
right.
Yeah, so there's like there's story stuff, like you're trying to get to the bottom of that, but I'm not terribly far into it. So more to come on that, I guess.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
The other thing I have been playing has been something I've actually been doing multiplayer, which is very out of character for me. But if you listen to like a couple of episodes ago, when Dennis was describing playing John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, and I learned
you've been playing it. Okay.
Yeah. When I learned that it had SnowRunner shit in it, suddenly, all right. Yeah. And so I've done a few rounds of that. I did the tutorial, and then I did a mission with you, Dennis, and then I did a mission with Dennis and Moxie. And it's a good time. I cannot speak to how good it is as like a multiplayer co-op shooter or, live service game where you're doing runs to, get upgrade materials to unlock skills and blah, blah, blah. I cannot speak at all to the quality of that. I have no idea what people who know about this kind of game are saying about it. I haven't read anybody say anything about it at all. I just have had a good time and have been surprised that it has like a single player narrative structure kind of thing to it. Like you're going through story missions in this.
And they lean really hard into there's kind of the level select is highly unintuitive, but makes sense within that story-driven design. Like there's two kind of on-ramp missions that form Act 1, and there's two off-ramp missions that form Act 3, or like the big climax. And then there's 6 in the middle that you can kind of do in any order that form Act 2.
Yeah.
And God help you if you want to figure out which one you're trying to select to play.
Right. Yeah.
But, with that idea of, I'm playing through a little bit more of a movie-fied Left 4 Dead, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes. The overall interface is very confusing, like running around the camp. Just give me a menu, for God's sake. But, yeah. So like, the story and tone and stuff, it's John Carpenter. It's super goofy. Characters are quippy and all of that. And the special infected or whatever, pretty standard tropes for that kind of thing in a zombie game. One's going to hold you. One has like an area effect around it. Just the way it goes. But like having it be a co-op a co-op game where you're on a map and you need to get to distant places, taking care of and managing and fighting against, and then fighting with this vehicle that everybody is invested in keeping going. And, like having a spot for the driver and a gunner, and, people can hang off the side and shoot as you go along, is a really interesting wrinkle on this kind of thing. Like it's kind of unlocked it for me a little bit. I had a really good time playing what I did, and I look forward to playing more.
Yeah, the vehicle is very well implemented, not just if you are a driver or a gunner, but if you are kind of escorting it or riding shotgun, that sort of thing. I can't think of another game, even when I was playing large map co-op games, I'm thinking of DMZ right now, but where you were frequently in the passenger seat, it was always kind of just like, all right, whatever, I'll sit here until I get where I'm going. But this feels very active. You're cleaning zombies off the side with your gun. You're hopping out and grabbing resources that, like, it'd be really annoying if the driver had to get out every time to get that stuff. It's just, and the game is very kind with when you lean out the window, you get a really strong field of view, at least in your, your cone.
But you're more exposed.
Exactly. They do that very well. I would have loved to see, at least in the time I've spent with it, I would love to see more like really deep mud and moments where the vehicle truly gets stuck. Because right in my experience so far, that kind of like snow runners, mud runners moment of like, oh God, I rolled it. Oh no, what do I do? That hasn't quite happened yet.
Yeah. I definitely did roll the, you step.
Right. I had to step away and I came back and the car was upside down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. And like the grappling hook, like the winch thing is pretty powerful. So like I felt the need for that as well. But like even just like, getting into mines and, not driving through mines, but when mines start showing up and it's like, okay, how are we going to handle this? Because those really fuck you up. Not just the vehicle itself, but like everybody is like, okay, we're just going to slow down. Do we want to send somebody ahead? Do we want to have the gunner try and use the very precious ammo from the turret to knock this thing out? If our vehicle has a turret at all, do we want to just take pot shots at it from the passenger seats? Really neat considerations to be made.
Yeah, I think the biggest scrap we got into, or like the tightest spot we were in, was driving away from, they call them nukers, but it's basically explosive enemies that specifically will chase down your vehicles. So special zombies there. Charging away from that, driving through a gate, and then not even realizing, oh, there's a shit ton of mines on the other side of this gate, which means our car got blown to hell by the mines, and then we got blown to hell by the nuker. And it's like, oh, wow, that escalated really quickly.
Yeah.
So very fun moments created by all that.
Dennis has been trying to get me and other people in my server to get this game. Has been pitching it, but the thing about it is I just bought Requiem, like that's expensive. So, that it's not in my budget right at the moment because I'd have to buy 2 so Dave could play 2, provided this even works on the Steam Deck. It says it's playable.
I have downloaded it. Yeah, I've downloaded it for the Steam Deck, but I have not tried it, so I can't comment.
Just as an at least right now, it's so weird because the game by itself is not on sale, but you can buy for cheaper than the game by itself World War Z plus Toxic Commando Standard Edition together in a bundle. For less money than you can just the individual, which okay, like you just, and there's like 6 different versions of the bundle that you can buy. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
Okay, not specifically related to this game, but I feel like with the bundles I've been seeing, someone flipped an AI switch in Steam that now it like dynamically creates bundles based on what it thinks you will want.
It'll also put the bundle above just buying the game itself. I like
It
when I bought
It's so
Commando, I was like, World War Z is here to download as well. I was like, I didn't buy that game. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't.
I was like,
Yeah.
I guess I did, and I didn't realize it.
And it's cheaper than just Toxic Commando, so.
Which doesn't make any damn sense. Yeah, so
it feels like a tax thing.
Right.
maybe.
Well, anyway, so like once it goes
Odd.
on a proper sale, maybe or I recoup some money.
No, totally understand.
Yeah.
Circling back to the like meta progression stuff and like, so the moment to moment of the game is very solid. The vehicle is like used well. The gunplay, at least the weapon that I've been using feels very good. So, solid in the game. The meta progression almost feels like an aside, or, they're not trying to push it too hard. You get collectibles, but there's only so much stuff to spend it on right now. And it's all cosmetic. So in one way, I appreciate that. But also there's not really a reason for me to run and pick up all the extras. Each weapon like levels up and gets more attachments. Like any game, any shooter is required to nowadays, it feels like. I don't feel like any of the attachments I've put on have significantly changed the way the weapon plays. You can, though, once you get it to a certain level, upgrade it so it does more base damage, which is cool. The gun I'm using is a one-hit kill on regular zombies anyway, so I haven't noticed too much of a difference.
Yeah.
You can also then prestige it, which gives you a skin and takes away all of your attachments. Okay, it's fine, I guess.
Weird.
Like,
yeah, all of the design conventions of the genre fucking baffle me. I don't.
Yeah, like, and again, if you just want to hop in and you don't care about skins on the weapon or whatever, you can play straight out the box without any nod towards that. Like, you don't have to worry about it at all. And I am happier it's in that place than in an oppressive, like, I need to grind out for however many hours a day place.
Yeah.
It's certainly not used as well as it could be. But yeah, like, a meta progression system being unobtrusive is high praise in my book.
Yeah.
So I'll take it.
It doesn't affect things too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially, I think, if what's under the hood of that, or what's in the individual moment-to-moment missions wasn't so solid, then maybe I would be like, well, what am I playing here for? Like, give me a couple extra carrots. But it feels like they made a really solid game, and it's got the prettied up, stuff around the edges that all games are expected to have, because someone there is wearing a business hat and tells them that's what they need to do.
Yeah.
So Saber has a great track record for like post-launch support, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah.
There's 2 free DLCs that are going to add new missions and weapons and all that stuff on the roadmap, and then just continual improvement and balancing overall.
Yeah. The meta progression is not as exciting as there being 4 classes to fuck around with.
Yeah. Those play with each other well.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a fun time. If anyone gets the game, let me know. As Jala said, I am recruiting.
Yeah, it's fun. I have no idea how much, if this is me saying I'm going to do more multiplayer stuff, but I'm enjoying fucking around with it.
Sweet. It's nice.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Cool.
Dennis, since we kind of did a handoff on that, what else have you been playing besides Toxic Commando?
Yeah, the alley-oop to me, and the only other thing I have is, of course, Slay the Spire 2.
Okay.
Which I'm already up past 50 hours on, so wow, that went
that's
fast.
quick. Well, hasn't it only been out for like a week and a couple of days?
Yes, but also it's really, really good, and since I've got it on my Steam Deck, I can just kind of be playing it all the time.
You don't have to be that defensive.
Well, depends. We'll see.
This is...
Go ahead.
with further play, is it beating the Slay the Spire 1.5 allegations? Because I know that was a concern last time.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, very, very much Slay the Spire 1.5, but continues to, even in that frame, be a very solid experience. I've kind of started to test the edges of the different builds you can do, especially with the new characters, and found some very fun stuff that feels different than anything in the first game. So that is very positive. That kind of justifies this more as a sequel.
Is that like within existing archetypes from the previous game? Like there's a new poison strategy that wasn't in the first game or something like that? Or
No. There is with like the Necrobinder and the Regent.
Okay.
Like fun ways you can find to win that feel very viable even into like higher ascension tiers and don't quite resemble anything that I've gotten out of Slay the Spire 1.
Gotcha.
Yeah, all the characters that were in the first game are very similar to how they were in the first game. Not a bad thing because you're taking all that stuff up against new enemies and decisions and challenges, and there are lots of new cards, but it doesn't feel like they are doing fundamentally different things.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to be charitable, I could say like, yeah, well, that's why it's still that character. They're not. You don't want to completely change the identity of the character, but also I would. I guess it's obvious to say I would rather have a game with like 5 new characters than a game with 3 old characters and 2 new characters.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. My favorite so far has been the Necrobinder generates soul cards, which they're just like insight cards for the Watcher in Slay the Spire 1, where it's just a 0 cost card that draws 2 cards and exhausts. But they also have the Necrobinder also has a power that deals damage to a random enemy whenever you play a soul card. And so I managed to duplicate that power several times over, and then have a bunch of other cards that generate soul cards, and just like that's how you win is doing damage by drawing, which draw is always all OP, and that was very fun to kind of crack open. Definitely one of those decks where I got to the final boss and I was like, I could close my eyes and win right now. This is great. So that's in there. And again, that felt different than anything I'd seen before. The Regent, I think I neglected to say last time I talked about it, one of their big mechanics is they have, every character has mana that you spend. And then the Regent also has stars, which is like the subset of mana that is persistent over turns. Only some cards use it, and some cards generate it, etc. And so a build around like basically I want to convert all my regular mana into stars and then use that is a very fun and interesting way to play. So yeah, new characters are earning their keep, and that's where I'm at with it.
Are you going to slay by comment with the new game?
I imagine so, but that will have to be like, it'll probably be 2 years from now at the earliest. I would want the game to be out of early access.
Oh, you wanted to,
Gotcha.
to be a little bit more done. Yeah.
They're already out with the first patch. Oh, this is funny. So the first patch came out just today. The one balance change. So they added a bunch of art that wasn't in the game yet and had some bug fixes around like menu systems. The one balance patch. Players, enemies, and pets can no longer have their HP increased above 999,999,999. So
that's fair.
Didn't know that could happen, but glad they headed that off. Yeah, so it's balance wise, that's the only change that's happened so far. But they have been very overt. Megacrit has that they're going to be actively balancing, adding to, etc. the game over time. So trying to do like a slay by comment while it's being actively changed just sounds impossible.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I look forward to when I can, because that is a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I have too much else to say about it than all that. Like it is justifying the time I'm spending on it, and it is a very good 1.5. I don't know if I can call it a sequel proper. I don't know if it's earned that 2 in the name.
I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. That's semantics. The game is hella fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Slay the Spire 2. Ben, you're the only one left.
Yeah, I was going to say, kind of tangential to that, I've just been playing the game that I really like as well, even more, which is Mewgenics. So I just have a brief update about that. I've gotten to the end of Act 3. I haven't 100%ed it yet. There's like an event you need to wait for, and so that's what I'm waiting for right now. But I did beat like the main levels of Act 3 and got through that. There's some very interesting choices they did in level design that is interesting, that it's also buried like 100 hours into the game at this point. But I don't know how to talk about it without it spoiling stuff. So,
okay.
I don't know. So eventually I'll probably DM somebody who's also gotten there, but
just to get it out.
Yeah. Well, like, and I'm judging it by achievement percentages on Steam too, and so it looks like 4 or 5% of the people have gotten to the last like level in Act 3, and then somewhere less than that have like beaten the last like area. Okay. So like because the trophies are by class, so it's like so it's kind of hard to tell how many people have actually gotten to where I've gotten though. But yeah, the game's still good. It's still really fun to like stumble upon like really busted combination and like be able to kind of push in that direction and like basically find a hat on a hat on a hat on a hat type thing where it's like, oh, like my mage can attack people even if they're covered in ice, and I happen to breed this like ice ability in my psychic, so they're going to freeze the boss every time and they're going to damage the boss every time, and then they'll be like shut out, and then I'll have all my, so like doing things like that are fun. There are definitely some wrinkles that get thrown in some of the last stages that like kind of hard negate certain classes like almost entirely, or certain strategies almost entirely. So, and that's kind of part of it, where it's like when you're going on runs the first time to like levels you haven't been to, a lot of it's just like learning about what kind of enemy types are there and like how you strategize against them. But you kind of expect to have runs where you just get toasted just because you don't have that knowledge going into it. The thing that's like a little bit the one of the last stages though I just breezed through because like the synergies that I had were too strong at that point. So I don't actually know like what the pitfalls are with those enemies, because it's like I was ending things in like round 1. So sometimes that can be like, I don't know, that can be more aggravating if it's like, well, now I got to do this run again to try and go like a little bit farther. Anyway, it's still a really fun game. It does kind of ebb and flow between stages of like rebuilding, where it's like, oh, I had like 2 runs in a row where I got party wiped, and so now I have like no really good items. So now I need to, instead of like doing an Act 3 run, I'll do an Act 1 or an Act 2 run to kind of like rebuild and get more stuff and then try it again. But the one part that's consistently progressive is the stats on the like new cats that you have born. Those seem to consistently get better, and I have a few I think that are either 1 or 2 away from like perfect stats, where you start off with like all 5s, and the highest it can go is 7. I think the lowest it can go is 3. So like having kittens that have like all 7 stats, so it's basically like a 0 to 14 scale. So I'm at about like 12. I think I hit like 113 today. So I'm nearing it. It's well balanced in the sense that I'm nearing the end of that progression around the same time that I'm nearing the end of the actual like level run progression. Yeah. And
are there other systems that you'll turn to once you are able to consistently get cats with the maxed out stats?
Yeah. The other thing that you kind of go to is your cats can get mutations. And so you can decorate rooms with items that make it more likely for your cats to get mutations in the room. And mutations are largely positive, but sometimes it's just very like different, where it's like a mutation. Like one example is the cats have these giant like ball hands, and then it's like they're attacks do knockback, so it'll knock somebody back if they hit them. Or there's one where it's like their eyes were on fire, and it's like their basic attack deals fire damage to people. So after the point where you've kind of like maxed out stats, then you start being more particular of like, okay, how do I get these specific traits and then pass those along? And because the basic one is you might have a stat modifier for like a mutation where it's like you have +2 strength, but -1 constitution, like that sort of thing. So that's something to play around with afterwards. That seems like it's a little bit more kind of like focused or nuanced than just trying to make the numbers go up. Because I think that's when it starts getting more into like dominant recessive traits and that sort of thing. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The game's still a lot of fun. I'm still enjoying it a bunch. I assume I'll start to like taper down on it in a week or two once I've kind of like
describing it like getting off of an antidepressant. The titrate.
You don't want to switch too quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. No. You don't just stop taking focus in. Yeah.
But no, it's still like really enjoyable going on runs. I'm still kind of like waiting to see more metas develop, because like I was more like, I think last week when I was talking about it, I was more satisfied because there were a few more like novel metas that I was still discovering. Whereas this week it's like, oh, I happen to hit these 2 strategies on these 2 classes, but I've done that before, but it is really effective. So that's like not as enjoyable if you've already like kind of discovered it. But for example, there was like the items are still a good way. There's these like challenge items I think I mentioned where it'll like drastically change the rules of the game for a run, and you're supposed to take it somewhere, but then you'll get a reward. So I did a run with one of those where instead of like, usually it's a random cat will level up, but they're all kept like at parity. So it's like if you have 3 level 3s and a level 2, the level 2 will level up always. But this item makes it so that only 1 cat levels up the entire time. So you have just a bunch of level 1s and one like level 15 or level 20 or something like that. So stuff like that still makes it pretty novel and pretty fun. So that's a good way to couple like doing these rebuilding rounds to still make it like really interesting. Yeah.
It's hard to get the Darkest Dungeon comparison out of my head when you're describing doing rebuilding rounds, right?
Yeah. Which I'm not sure if that's like I mean, that's probably maybe a faint criticism of the game design, where it's like if there are times where you need to do sorts of rebuilding things, but I'm not sure. It's like I would be more critical if the gameplay wasn't fun itself, like just going on runs. So I think that's kind of everything though. So not much has changed since last week, but it's still good, and I'll be very curious to see what the 100% ending of Act 3 is and see what the resolution is. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I don't have any more questions about it. It just still sounds good. Like, I don't know, just doing an XCOM and Into the Breach alike sounds very fun right now.
Yeah, and it's okay. Go ahead. It's like a similar thing as like the cracking a new pack of Magic, where it's like the potential of like, oh, what's going to be in here and what sort of like combos am I going to make? You get that same sort of feeling when you go into a run where it's like, okay, I have these 4 cats, they have these unique abilities already, like, and they have these stats. Like, what's the best way to build like a coherent combination around them? That part has like long legs, it feels like, because that's like pretty novel every time you do it and pretty unique. So
what abilities come with the long legs mutation?
Oh yeah, probably +2 boot stat. I don't know. You do have a movement stat, so that does get affected by some mutations. But, yeah.
Multiplayer.
Now it's time for the multiplayer, where we ask you a question and you answer it. Dennis, what is the question that you ask the nice people?
Yeah, it's good to be bad sometimes. So what are some games where you are unequivocally playing as the bad guy? Bonus points if it's a game where that is not expressly the intent of the developer.
I was going to ask, do bonus points count if that is not upfront? But that is... bonus points it's ridiculous. The idea of bonus points, it doesn't matter.
Give people their dopamine squirts. We like bonus points.
We should get started because Jala got us a lot of responses.
Yeah, holy shit, people.
Yeah. Let's see here. Dave J says Spec Ops: The Line, starting us with a good example there. Yeah. Let's see. Jala, what does Chris say?
Chris, Consoles and Stuff, says Prototype is a particular favorite.
Oh, yeah, that's the game where you're Venom, basically. And then Prototype 2 is ridiculous, I understand.
So those games came out. What was the Insomniac game? It was like that.
Yeah, so it was Prototype and Infamous, were both open world superhero like games. Yeah.
And I feel like I, for some reason, felt like I had to pick a lane, and so picked Infamous, and never really got into Prototype.
Oh. I didn't have a PS3 for a long time, so Prototype was the one that I played, and it was fine. Yeah. Ben, what does Rookie say?
Rookie says, any Uncharted game, if Nathan Drake would have just taken a nap instead, all the magical apocalypse devices would have just stayed lost forever, and about 10,000 people wouldn't get murdered by Nathan. I didn't realize this, but that is like a parallel with Indiana Jones, where it's like, if he just does nothing, same outcome.
Yeah. I want to see that ending. The game literally comments on how many people Nathan Drake kills in, I think, the second one.
Okay.
There's a villain that uses that in his we're not so different speech, which is very funny that they acknowledge it but don't do anything to reconcile it.
No. Yeah, you barely get credit for joking about it. But I was like, if they're doing that in the fourth one, after that's become the joke about that series, that is not impressive to me. Let's see, Dennis. What does? Yeah, there we go. Dennis, what does Daniel say?
Daniel says Overlord, though really you're the lightest shade of black around compared to the quote unquote heroes. He also adds Lords of Shadow 2. Again, Dracul is the lightest shade of black in the game.
Who on the show played those Lords of Shadow games, the Castlevania ones?
I played the Mirror of Fate, which is the weird 2.5D or whatever one. And I liked that, but that you are not playing.
I want to say I played the first one and loved it.
You platinumed it. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, if I'm thinking of the right games.
Yeah, weird Kojima Devil May Cry Castlevanias.
Yes.
Yeah.
We should also mention Rookie's honorable mention for any Warhammer 40K game, no matter who you play as.
Yes. Yeah.
That's table stakes for Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, it's taken as read. Alex, Pickle Factory says, Grime is one of mine for the way it makes you feel fully invested in being the bigger bad for everything you meet and bringing creative destruction to the world that you're in. A good example from a game that I think more people should talk about. There's going to be a Grime 2. It's coming. Yeah.
Grimier?
Yeah, Grime 2. Let's get grimy.
It's Grimin' time.
Grime 2, Residue. Jala, what does Threnza say?
Threnza says, the Caesar path in Fallout New Vegas may be the default evil route, but I think the true evil play is a yes man route where you just go and slaughter all the various faction heads, take the platinum chip for yourself, and rule over New Vegas as an ironclad dictator with a sweet robot army.
That's one way to interpret the yes man ending. Yeah. Let's see, Ben, what does Doug from Nostalgia Arcanum say?
Doug says, spoiler alert, but Claire obscure, depending upon your point of view, of course.
Yeah, it seems like a game that would pull that.
Very French of them.
Let's see, Dennis, what does Electric Head say?
Electric Head says, the original God of War trilogy. Yeah, and that one might fit in the unintentional category.
How
I don't know if there was a lot of thought beyond like,
They weren't
"You're such
aware."
a badass going on.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, like, you do, like, pick up a slave in a cage and throw him into the gears. Like, I think they're intentionally having you do bad stuff that they know is bad, but know that by virtue of the depiction, they're kind of celebrating.
Yeah.
Moxie, I don't know who they are, says, especially early on, Warframe had an interesting vibe where you were kind of space terrorists. A lot of the mission text from that era was very break in and leave no survivors. That's to say nothing of all the war crimes you commit when you are basically an animate Zerg infestation. Don't know enough about Warframe to comment more. We usually have somebody on the show who can talk to it. But.
Yeah. No,
I wonder where they might be. Perhaps the cistern. Anyway.
Locked in the cistern.
Oh, Jala, what does Double Cakes say?
Double Cake says, growing up, I played through Age of Empires campaigns without much thought. I conquered lands as the Romans. I fought the Crusades as Barbarossa. Then I learned that imperialism is bad, and playing the story of famous conquerors took on a new light.
Especially with the way that they whitewash those stories and just kind of use the mythological version of them. Not good actual history.
Yep. Passable when if the actual history is being taught in schools. Not great when that might be your only point of reference.
Right. My favorite example of that is the Uncharted Waters series. Just so much goofy history shit in that about the Age of Discovery. Let's see, Ben, what does Random Sum say?
Random Sum says, Pitfall, fuck that guy. Oh, wait. Game I like? Elden Ring, where I mercilessly murder innocent birds for their feet, which I personally find to be repellent behavior.
True.
Yes.
But how else are you going to get their feet?
And are the birds attacking you too?
Want them very badly. Yeah, the birds are attacking you. It's weird that some of the feet come pickled.
Yeah, that's odd. No, wait a second. I like the birds with swords for feet attack you. Like the birds that are on cliffs that you mercilessly mow down for like basic crafting supplies. They never attack you, right?
You can't prove that.
I've only ever had them fly away. But yeah, I guess it is true that it is possible they could attack, and thus we should destroy them all.
I think the real villain,
the
real villain's the person who put the swords on the bird's feet in the first place.
Yes.
Yeah.
We take a strong anti-cockfighting stance on this show.
Wise.
Yeah, and in certain endings, you are. I mean, if you do the loathsome dung eaters ending, you are the worst in that. So, let's see. That was Ben. Dennis, what does Dave say?
Dave says, Syndicate from 1993 still sticks with me all these years later. Playing as a drone for a villainous megacorp has seldom been as fun as it was here. Not the cyberpunk future we ended up with, and that's for the best.
Yes. Yet. Not the cyberpunk future we've ended up with. Yet.
Well, yeah.
We can't let that optimism, stick around.
No.
Yeah. No. Probitus writes, pretty much any Paradox game counts, but you can do some pretty heinous shit in Victoria too. Especially since it never explicitly paints you as the bad guy. If I recall correctly, there are even some special events where colonizing the Congo as Belgium, where you reenact some of the worst colonial crimes. It's called Victoria too. But Paradox is you can play Hearts of Iron as fucking monsters. So, yeah. And a lot of Hearts of Iron people are actual honest to God Nazis. So, and the rest of the Paradox people are just trans. Yeah. Very, very, very popular, those games in the community.
Huh.
Yeah. It's weird. Let's see. Jala, what does Miko say?
Miko says, Hotline Miami, I guess?
Yeah. That tracks. Yeah. And moving on even more. Let's lightning around some of these. Ben, what does Keck just say?
Keck just says, Batman Arkham Asylum. Serious answer, Absalom. I don't know if the game considers you the bad guys. I don't know if there is a good guy, but I'm pretty sure we are the baddies. It's tough, like the transitive property there, because it's like the goblins are definitely bad and you're killing the goblins, but then there's good people and you're killing them too. So I don't know.
For some reason, Absalom is not coming to mind when I don't know what that game is.
It's like
cool.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it's looks completely different. But it's like the beat 'em up actions. I talked about it like in December, November, and
you did.
You go on a map like Slay the Spire.
Yeah, I talked about it also when I was doing. I played the demo for Next Fest last year too.
Oh shit, so you're right.
It's been on a couple of times actually.
Yeah, if I saw it, I'd be like, oh yeah, absolutely, that's the one. Yeah, just by the name, it's not coming up. Let's see, Dennis, what does Zoe say?
Zoe says, basic ass answer, Shadow of the Colossus. Spicy answer, Minecraft. And I like that. Any open world sandbox game, let's assume nature is as it wants to be, and anything you're doing is a violation.
Yes. Nature wants there to be creepers. Yeah. Let's see. That was Dennis. What does Manioff say?
Manioff says, snarky answer, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. Genuine answer, Destroy All Humans. I never played Destroy All Humans or the sequels, but I've heard they are good.
I don't like it very much.
Oh no! Well, then I'm glad
I feel like the second or third one was a pretty good sandbox game, but
I don't know. I rented it. I checked it out from work when I worked at GameStop, expecting it to be like super inventive, and it was not. It was not what I wanted it to be. So I guess it was me not meeting it on its terms. Let's see. McTavi writes, Assassin's Creed Rogue is up there for me. I don't know if this strictly counts, as you aren't really playing as a character, but Plague Inc. Oh, Plague Inc. counts. The goal is to wipe out all of Earth. You have agency. You decide how to evolve. Let's see. Jala, what does Jala, what does Stone Skeleton say? I got off by one somewhere. Yeah.
Stone Skeleton says, all I can think of is Mewgenics. I don't think what we're doing to the cats is exactly ethical.
Can confirm.
Ben, what does Ikari Butasai say?
Ikari says Monopoly.
Yeah, you're a fucking landlord. Let's see. Do we want to do the ones that are conversations? Yeah, there's repeated stuff down there. People going back and forth?
Same people. Cool. Yeah. Then we're good.
Yeah.
Monopoly's a good one to end on.
Monopoly is a very good one to end on.
We Are the Baddies game.
It was designed that way. I mean, initially, and then it was commercialized.
Go watch the movie Heretic. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good. Yeah. God, that's a good movie. I love Heretic. I mean, I'm going to say this. You can play it not as a villain, but I think most people are going to slouch into it in Frostpunk.
Ooh, very fair.
Yeah. I mean, it really wants you. Like, it kind of presents in the main campaign that there are only two options, fascism or religious fascism.
Cult. Yeah.
Yeah. You can do it not that way, but it's hard. Yeah. And then, I mean, I'll say it, Stardew Valley, the way I play it.
Sims the way you play it or whatever. Right?
Yeah, any sim game.
So,
Jala, how about you?
I would say Planescape Torment, but I'm also interested in the fact that nobody said Cult of the Lamb.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting because most people are picking like completely different stuff. We didn't have any repeats.
No, yeah. Sometimes there is crossover, even across like multiple, multiple communities. There, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
People tended to know there were no duplicates. Creative answers too that are not just let's see, Ben, how about you?
I think the Call of Duty snarky answer jogged my memory to Black Ops 2, where it's like you commit war crimes throughout the game, and then at the ending, there's this like chugga chugga American guitar music and like a flag in the background. I'm like, oh, they didn't get it. Okay,
No.
like they didn't get the previous games and what they were doing. Okay, cool.
Isn't Black Ops 2 the one where you're like doing missions for Reagan?
Yeah, there's like stuff in like Vietnam, I know, and yeah.
And Dennis, how about you?
Someone mentioned Warhammer 40K earlier, and I immediately thought of Darktide. That one is to the point that in your loading screen, the messages that like cycle through are all like propaganda. So they are very on the nose about you being the bad guys.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know enough about Warhammer to add on to that. Sorry. Yeah. Well, that was we got a lot of response there. Thank you, everybody. Mm-hmm. If you want to participate in the future, look for the prompts to go up on Monday afternoons, primarily on the level podcast.bsky.social. And those go up on Monday afternoons. Thank you, Dennis, for posting, and thank you, Jala, for reposting.
Yo.
The End Boss.
Now it is time for the End Boss, where we talk about things that are happening in the world of video games around us and how we feel about them. Ben, lead.
Sure.
Let's lead with the story about Subnautica 2.
Yeah, I think we've kind of talked about this in the history of the podcast, but basically a year or two ago, the higher ups at Unknown Worlds, the studio that makes Subnautica, got fired and let go. And there was controversy around the payment plan, where originally like the devs were tracked to making an early access release date at a certain point, and there was a certain amount of money that was going to be paid to people at the studio for that. Mm-hmm. That got rescinded and the people got fired. And so then there were lawsuits afterwards claiming that the people at the higher up studio were trying to dodge paying the money. And then there was kind of also like I think controversy about, you know, like who would be making the money of it and everything. There's a development recently with that where a judge ruled that the parent company needs to pay out the $250 million and needs to rehire specifically the CEO of the company. The parent company is called Crafton, and then I believe it was Unknown Worlds, I think is the name of the studio that makes Subnautica.
Unknown Worlds is the dev. Yeah.
So and specifically the part that's interesting is the judge like states very plainly that Crafton was deliberately trying to find ways around not paying the studio money and ruled in that direction. Key takeaway that apparently the Crafton, the parent company, referred to this as Project X to not pay them the $250 million, reinforcing that everybody who has a lot of money who uses the term X for their thing should not be trusted at all and should probably be kicked out of things. But
Poison, let her remove it.
Yeah. So again, it's like this isn't really a black and white issue, because it's like I don't know how much of this money is going to like the everyday like developer at the studio. Right. But yeah, at the same time, it's like probably not great for publisher, or people who are, money being promised in certain contracts to not be paid out to people below them. So I'm at least happy for the change in that sense. But
and then like if they disrupt the development and fire the CEO for like dumb greedy reasons, like the whole team gets jerked around. This game should have been out by now, and it's just fucking not. And like it jeopardizes the entire endeavor. I would like to hear from the workers at the studio if like what the environment was like, because that was part of the thing that Crafton said was just that it was a bunch of mismanagement, which I'm sure was there. But I've got no clue. Basically,
Yeah.
I'm not hearing from the people I would want to hear from in this.
Yeah, and reading the story, I went back to see their latest like dev video, and I think the big announcement was that you're going to be able to do multiplayer in Subnautica too. But that video is from like a year ago, so it's like the kind of the community updates and like the early access progress has definitely like slowed down because of like all this stuff. But anyway, hopefully it starts ramping up soon. I would enjoy another Subnautica game, but yeah.
Dennis, what's happening with Street Fighter 6?
I could not tell you, but it sure seems like incest. It's not what you're expecting to hear related to Street Fighter 6, I'm sure. So, there's new DLC out for the game, which is very popular with the fans. Alex is the character for the DLC. Which was the main character of, I think, Street Fighter 3 New Generation, and is near and dear to many people's hearts. So lots of hype for having him in the game. When you get a new character, you also get like their story mode. And at the end of the story mode, you get like a little cutscene is generous, but some slides showing how their story resolves, which has him, marrying and becoming a dad, apparently, which is all great, except for it seems to be with his second cousin. Not sure.
Second cousin doesn't count. Come on.
I guess.
Most laws only involve the first cousin.
Yeah, in Mewgenics, that's fine. But there's no problem. Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, you can play Mewgenics and be fine. Now I'm like, okay, no, this is affecting your mind. Wherever you fall on marrying, it's pretty scientific of like, Dad, don't have kids if you're gonna do that. But I don't know if just the people writing the story kind of lost the plot. So it is also his stepsister. So go figure. Patricia is her name. So Alex and Patricia. They refer to each other as brother and sister in the games. He refers to I guess his dad explicitly as such. Confirming the like familial connections. So yeah, this is a real weird thing to like intentionally turn into a marriage. So yeah, fans are scrambling to explain like, oh, maybe it's adoptive,
trying to justify it.
Maybe, yeah, but it sure seems like stepbrother. What are you comboing to me?
No. Yeah, I don't care for that. I don't care for any of this as much as my jokes.
Odd decision.
It is very funny if this is like completely earnest. It's a joke from season 6 of Community, but there's an episode that heavily features the twist is the two people who are getting married are actually cousins, because it's that show, ultimately it's just like, well, I guess it doesn't fucking matter. Like, just somebody gets up and says, no, as long as you love each other, blah, blah. And then it kind of comes out like weirdly pro incest. And then like it ends with the writer of the episode saying, they let me make this episode as long as I came out and said that I am the person who wrote it. And then like makes like a defense about how the laws don't make any sense or whatever. And it's just and I'm so and so proud writer of the Community incest episode.
Wow.
Oh
God, yeah. That's goofy. That's really silly.
I just like the idea that whoever handled like the end slideshow or whatever, just like misread what their relationship in the past was, and by the time they realized what he had done, it was too late to change it.
Yeah,
who knows? We'll see.
It always feels like a statement to include that.
Just wait until the next DLC character where their slideshow recontextualizes everything. This is actually a alternate dimension. Patricia, I got nothing.
And then they just keep on like getting sweatier, trying to justify and explain it.
I haven't seen this much justification for fucking your cousin since August Osage County.
What?
Two people will have laughed at that.
Yeah, I've heard of the movie. I have not seen it, so
Oh.
now I know what that's about.
Let's see here. Jala. I lost the window.
It's fine. It's
Yeah,
very small and short.
What's your
Iowa
story?
wants that video game money, and now they're offering tax credits to try to make a Silicon Prairie or something over there in Iowa, where all the people go. Everyone's in Iowa.
Where everybody wants to be.
Yes.
With their good laws.
I guess. So anyway, like that's all the story is Iowa. You might be seeing some video game companies moving to Iowa now for tax credits. So
Okay.
And so they can vote first.
Yeah. I mean, this is a tried and true strategy. It is very weird for them to decide that the video game industry is their priority.
I know,
Yeah,
that isn't
above-
that like random? Like, okay, cool.
They set all that up
I know
thinking it
one
was synonymous
person
with
from
AI.
Iowa. I know one person who lives in Iowa. Shout out to Aaron from Superpod Saga.
Does Aaron currently live in Iowa still? Did they like it enough to
Yes.
stay? Okay. All right. Yeah. Whether or not you like it is not the main reason somebody will stay or leave.
Right.
Yeah. But
I've heard about it being drivable from Chicago, so I wonder if that's kind of the play here, is just trying to get devs from that city.
Yeah, that could be. That could be.
no. Anything that is trying to make more video game jobs is good, I suppose. It is just strange. I almost have to I have to hope that it is not a Rhode Island situation. Who was it? What was it? Kingdoms of Amalur, Reckoning. Who was the guy? Who was the baseball player?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't remember his
like
name.
that studio, Kingdoms of Amalur Studio. Sorry,
Curtis someone.
yeah. Ended up being a huge asshole kind of guy.
Yes.
Curtis, yeah. But so 38 studios. Kurt Schilling, there we are.
Kurt Schilling.
Basically conned Rhode Island into giving him all kind of incentives for opening that studio there, and then drove it bankrupt and ran away with a bunch of the money that they never got back. That the state never got back.
Could quite literally run away too and leave the state. So
Yeah, I don't think Kurt Schilling can go back to Rhode Island.
No.
That's okay. It's not very big. It'll be okay.
It's true. Yeah, you can pretty easily steer around it. And then my story is kind of silly, but also a fucking grim harbinger of things to come. So, like, over the past few days, people have been sharing a lot of memes based on a Digital Foundry kind of comparison image showing off NVIDIA's new DLSS 5 AI upscaling, AI detail adding kind of feature, where on the left it shows a screenshot from Resident Evil Requiem, a game that looks very good already. Just showing Grace walking down the street, and then on the right showing what appears to be, if you asked Midjourney to render that same frame from Resident Evil Requiem instead. And people are saying like, oh, Grace has been yassified, and there are all kinds of memes. People are kind of running it into the ground, but some of them are pretty funny. I, in particular, am a big fan of the Marge Simpson before and after Homer shoots her with the makeup gun. There are all kinds of memes, but like, DLSS is neat technology. Like the frame interpolation thing, not great. Like you're not getting a lot more, it's not actually increasing your frame rate very much, but like, upscaling and making making stuff less demanding, making games less demanding on a system, that opens them up for more people to play them looking nice. This step with DLSS 5 really is stepping into the graphics card guessing at what the game should look like and making decisions that delete and overwrite the actual artistic intent of the people who made it. I do not like that the main video card manufacturer is saying, hey, all of these cars that cost all of these graphics cards, which now cost multiple car payments, we're just going to have them guess at what this game should look like. I think that is dumb and bad.
Well, and it's hard to separate out what is people memeing versus what is actual examples. But any game that's got like a non-standard graphic design to it, like cell shaded or just a very unique art style, gets murdered by this system right now. Yeah. To where you're not only having the like artistic intent overruled in favor of something that looks better, you're having the artistic intent overruled by something that looks actively worse and weirder.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an interesting analogy here with like Unity and Unreal, where it's like that one's a different case, but it's like you get a lot of the same product out of that sort of thing just because it makes it quicker. And it's like it's not exactly the same because you can do enough work to make something unique in those types of game engines. But yeah, it seems like another extension where it's like I don't really want this direction. But
no, not at all. It's rough, and it's not just people. I think that maybe some of the comments about the way that it changes the look of Grace's face are, like it's a bad example for them to have chosen because it literally is just making her look kind of like Emma Stone when that is not her character design. Would you agree, Jala?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Well, and like you'd pointed this out when you were talking about it on Blue Sky, but like the changes to just that entire shot, like the background, the moodiness and everything of it is just completely gone. It's like Silent Hill, but take away all the fog. Like what would it do to Silent Hill, for example? What would that do to Silent Hill? And then also, like a lot of people have said that it either makes them look like way older or it makes them look like porn stars, more or less.
Well, that's like, what is this thing trained on? It's the eternal question, because certainly the loudest and most prolific audience online with strong opinions on what women should look like in games is not at all how I want women to be represented in games.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want that to be the default way that it's kind of catered to. Right. I don't want that to be just like, oh, we need to make these people happy. Let's literally build it into the fucking hardware that's going to be the case. It also it feels like the images are, not actually made to be played in animation. It's like, oh, this is a screenshot that's going to look really good. Like, but if you look at the images that have come out of this, like it's a uniform level of detail across the entire shot. Like, games don't always need to mimic cinema, but if they're going to be high level of detail, you can't just have like basically a split diopter kind of shot where everything is in focus. That's fucking ridiculous, right? But that's what I'm seeing here, along with like faked HDR kind of stuff happening with it. Like, no, like there's actual intent in the way that things are shot and the way things are represented. No, it's just bad. It's just like substantively bad. Have we
seen this in motion yet, or have we only seen screenshots?
There's a Digital Foundry video that shows it, and it's as junky looking as you would imagine.
Sad. Well, and then too with Resident Evil Requiem, it's also important to remember that they had like people they were mocapping, they were face capping actual ass people. You don't need to change them to look into somebody else. Like it's already capped off of somebody's actual face made with humans. You don't need to do that, and change it into something else.
Raises the question, like, did that actor consent to having their performance, basically dubbed over by AI?
Of course they did.
And was their performance like essentially, could you say it's their performance that's training the AI on what to do in this? And that's a whole flashpoint. So let's just not. I don't know anyone other than tech bro idiots who are asking for this.
Nope.
Certainly no one who cares about the games they're playing.
It feels like the industry is just conspiring to demoralize creators into fucking quitting. Like if we can't lay you off, we want to make it so that everything is
Well, so on that note, I just want to share a Blue Sky post somebody posted that I shared. The game industry's obsession with graphics is so funny because every other year there will be some breakout hit called Stick Figure Mansion or some shit that outsells 90% of the market and runs on a toaster.
This is exactly what I was thinking of. It's like I'm playing a Flash game right now, and it's like my game of the year. And it's like last year Blueprints is like anyway.
Right.
Fucking
remember
Pokemon
Snake
Pokopia.
RX?
Yeah, Snake RX. Pokemon Pokopia, like you're playing as a piece of silly putty with a smiley face drawn on it. You know, it's a very good looking game. It's like very, it's art directed, but also it is not chasing the fidelity. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb and bad. I hate it. I hope they change their mind, but I don't know that they will. But it'll only run on new cards that nobody will be able to afford anyway. So maybe we just sit this one out.
Yeah, I was gonna say NFTs lasted like 2 or 3 years. This has already lasted 3 years at this point. So hopefully the crash cannot come soon enough.
I was trying to bring us back up with something funny. Damn it.
Oh man, that's just one of these images. Just what if shadows didn't exist? Yeah, it flattens the lighting. Shadows come from the wrong directions. Yeah, fuck. I could go on about this forever. Instead, I think we should call it a night. How does everybody feel about buttoning it up?
Buttons.
The credit.
Thank you so much for listening to level number 577. We appreciate you taking the time. If you want to help out this show, you know what you can do. Patreon, leaving ratings or reviews, telling people, participating in the multiplayer on Blue Sky. Join us in the Discord, all of that. Jala, what would you like to promote? You got a lot happening.
Well, I already talked about Put That Cookie Down Now, which is the new show from Dave and I that is covering all of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies chronologically. So that is a thing. Another episode comes out in a week from the release date of this show. And on the same day that this show releases or thereabouts, my next Jala Chan's Place episode is on Frankenstein, the 2025 movie, part 3, because I couldn't contain myself.
No.
And we talked. Well, so I had the one on the novel with Dave Jackson in December, and then January I did just like the spoiler-free, let's just talk about production and stuff like that, and did that. But then when I was writing all the notes about like all the details of what's going on in the movie, plus contrasting that with the original screenplay, which I also dug through, I had a whole lot of extra notes, and I'm like, there's no way in hell we're going to fit this on one episode. So 2 episodes on story. So Frankenstein for 4 months straight. It's all over now, though.
Hey,
Go for it. Yeah.
Yay.
Frankenstein's whole thing is that he's made out of many parts.
Indeed. So, well, anyway, they also came away with 3 Oscars for all of the design stuff, for the makeup and hair, for the costume design, and also for production design, because it is a gorgeous fucking movie. So,
yeah. I think people listen to the show to hear you be enthusiastic about things, so I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Well, if that's everything, I've been Kaye. You can find me on Blue Sky at Kaye.zone.
I've been Dennis Furia. You can find me at Furia Games.
I persist in being Jala-chan in places, including here right now.
And I've been Ben Merkel.
And stick around for some titles.
I don't have any titles. Don't ask me. I'm too tired. I was so busy yawning. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
I didn't have any ability to type things.
I changed the color of my lamp to green because he brought up Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I did it as a treat. Yeah. I have one. I have, you can do all kinds of magical things with blood.
That
I
was
saw
my
you
one as
writing
well.
it down.
Yeah.
I saw you writing it down when I was talking about it.
It's so good. It's so good. Who else had that?
I had that. That was my only title.
Everybody.
All right. Okay. All right. Dennis, what are our runners up?
Yeah, just for posterity, I also wrote down everything was made of the cubes. And that's it.
Sometimes you don't need to overthink it.
Easy decision.
Yeah. All right. It is decided.